and we are going to take our rightful position, and we are going to respond to any allocation that is meant to intimidate this community.
Thank you, sir. Senator Roba, what is your point of order?
Honorable Speaker,
Mohammed Chute, please resume your seat and do your mic.
Is it in order, Mr. Speaker, is it in order for the senator, my brother, chairperson, understanding order 105 on responsibility of fact, to allege about tribalism and the issues that are within EACC, can he substantiate by tabling that evidence so that we can be satisfied?
Senator Chute, are you able to substantiate?
Honorable Speaker, in my committee, already we have a report that shows that this country is very tribalistic, and I'm going to table that report next week. So this is what is happening in this country. Everywhere you go, Honorable Speaker, let me give you a scenario. First of all, I'm ready to substantiate because it is in my report. What I'm talking about is in my report. I'm going to table next week. Honorable Speaker.
What is your point of order, Senator John Kinyo?
Mr. Speaker, about tribalistic and him being chairman, maybe that's a story for another day. But Mr. Speaker, he talked about EACC, and he tables the report of EACC. Mr. Speaker.
Senator Chute, are you going to table the report?
I will table that report. It is even here. I've just seen it. I will table. That's not a big issue. But the issue of tribalism, it is in the domain of my committee. I'm going to report next week. Why am I saying this, Honorable Speaker? Honorable Speaker, when this position was advertised in the first instance, it was re-advertised again, and they changed so many things in that advertisement. What was in the advertisement earlier was removed because they wanted it to suit a particular person. So what happened, we have somebody from Marsabit who has worked in that position for almost 2 years. Because he comes from a minority, he cannot be considered. Honorable Speaker, you see the problem we are having, Honorable Speaker, the issue I am trying to raise, Honorable Speaker, this matter, the way this person was picked and selected, we need to investigate this matter. Honorable Speaker, I'm going to bring a statement to this House to investigate the process these people used to give that position to Mr. Kimei. Honorable Speaker, if you had a program before, if you had an advertisement, and that the conditions were there, and later on you advertise again, remove those conditions, bring new conditions, what does it mean? It means very clearly you have a preference, you want to give that particular position to a particular person. Honorable Speaker, my request, this country, we need to be having, we need to not to look at only one area of this country. I come from Marsabit. If somebody from Marsabit cannot be employed, he has all the qualifications. You cannot employ him because you want a particular person from a particular region. Honorable Speaker, let me say this. In fact, if I am asked today, sitting in that committee, what I have seen is, Honorable Speaker, is reliance on one particular area of this country, Honorable Speaker. And you see, the reason why I'm saying this, if you had advertised this position before, why do you change the goalpost and then re-advertise again? When it was advertised in the first instance, Mr. Kimei was not there. He was not in that shortlisting. He appeared in the second advertisement. They removed some things from those advertisements, the second one. Why do they remove? It is because they wanted to give this position to Mr. Kimei, who comes from Rift Valley, not somebody who comes from Eastern Province. This is wrong, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Cherargei, what's your point of order?
Speaker, is it in order under Article 10 of the Constitution on national values and principles of governance to allege that Mr. Kemei was given this position of Director General of Competition Authority because he comes from Rift Valley, Mr. Speaker? Is it in order even young children seeing us profiling Kenyans, Mr. Speaker? The other day I was defending the MCA from Wajir that had been abducted and yet is to be found. I would have simply said they're adopting people from Northeastern. Is it fair, Mr. Speaker? Can the Honorable, my brother chairman, which I have tremendous respect, withdraw and say Mr. Kemei is a Kenyan like the other? Can he use other reasons?
Senator,
And he's threatening the peace and cohesiveness of the country.
Senator Mohammed Chute,
Yes, sir.
as much as we agree with your opinion, it is unfair to profile people based on regions. Please continue with your contribution without making any reference to certain regions and certain people.
Speaker, today I am Honorable Speaker, I am a disappointed man today. You know,
Commissioner, what is your point of order?
Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I want to know whether my chair cohesion is in order to profile a community at the expense of its community. Yet he's the chair of the cohesion.
Very well. Senator Chute?
Honorable Speaker, what I am trying to do as the chair of cohesion, I want every part of this country to be considered. Not looking at only as if Muslims are looking at the Kaaba. They are looking at only one side, taking care of same people, doing things for only. That is not right, Honorable Speaker. I'm really, you see this point of order they are raising.
Senator Mandango, what is your
What
point
is
of
wrong
order?
with you people?
Honorable Speaker, I don't think, understatement of fact, Senator Chute should not lie to this country and mislead the nation that people have been looking into one direction. Senator Chute, for your information, the managing director of Kenya Portland Cement is your personal friend. You know so many people who have been appointed to government from other regions. Twalip is the head of EACC. We have the Director General for Kenya Roads Board. Senator Chute cannot mislead the nation, and Honorable Speaker, Senator Chute, in fact, should resign from being the chair of the Cohesion National. Community and as a Kalenjin community, we are going to refuse to be profiled. We are citizens of this country and we pay taxes. We go to school like any other community in this country. The fact that the president comes from that region doesn't mean any other citizen from that region is not entitled to employment. We are tired, we are sick of being profiled, and we are going to take our rightful position, and we are going to respond to any allocation that is meant to intimidate this community.
Thank you, sir. Senator Roba, what is your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, the chair of Cohesion and Integration has made derogatory utterance against the Muslims by making reference like Muslims who face the Kaaba and they pray in one direction, or making that, and considering he's a Muslim, such simile or example being taken has not settled well with the Muslims. He needs to withdraw.
Senator Mogeni, what is your point of order?
The Speaker, I wanted to raise on a point of order to inquire from Senator Mandago whether it is in order to show that there are fairness in distribution of jobs across the country, whether it's in order to make reference only to Muslims while the country has 42 tribes. The Speaker, if Senator Mandago wants to prosecute his point of order, let him table before the House the appointments that have been made to all parastatals in the last 2 years. then we will say there is fairness in the whole country. So, Mr. Speaker, if it's a matter of us being a house that is fair, let Senator Mandago table before us, Mr. Speaker, appointments that have been made to all parastatos in the last 2 years, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, honorable Senators. Senator of Embu, what is your point of order?
Speaker, mimi na siungi rafiki wangu Senator Chute wa kutoka Marsabit, na amesoea vibaya sana Senator, kwa sababu kila kitu ambayo hujahusishwa unakuwa Senate haiwezi endelea vizuri. Senator Chute, kila pahali tumeona kamati, we ni mwenyekiti na tunajua unafanya kazi nzuri, lakini kitu yote imekuwa katika nyumba hii haujahusishwa, inaleta shinda, kwa sababu tuko county 47. Huyo mtu nasema unataka huyo ni rafiki wako, umesema saa hii, na ndio umesema alitemwa, ukasema utakuja kumtetea. Bwana Speaker, nataka niambie rafiki yangu Chute, mambo ingine mpaka uashiri watu wengine waendelee vizuri, sio kila kitu yote. Tukienda kwa manyumba ni Chute, tukienda kwa kila kitu yote, kwa mafuta ni Chute, tukienda kila kitu yote Chute. Kwani Kenya sio Marsabit? Nataka ni kazi yako mpaka uonjue sisi tuko maseneta 67 na kaunti 47. Kwa hivyo nataka nikwambie rafiki yangu Chute, huwezi kuwa kila kitu yote ni Chute. Hii haiwezekani. Kwa sababu saa hii nikiwa hapo umesema ati unakasirika rafiki yako ametemwa. Kwa hiyo hata hiyo ni kitu, hata kama itarundiwa, huyo mtu hafai kuwa ataenda kuangaliwa kazi yake ndiye apatiwe. Tena kitu ya mwisho, tungefuata application ya kwanza ama ya pili. Kwa hiyo ile application za kwanza sikuwa na ndosari mbaya, na saa hii tumesikia umesema watu ile ya pili ndio ilifuatwa. Kwa hivyo napinga mambo ya Senator Chute. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Senator Munyihaji Mohamed Faki.
Mheshimiwa Spika, roho yangu imetulia kuona Senator Mudigi amekaa, kwa sababu alikuwa anarusha ngumi na mikono. Ukifikiri alikuwa yuko kwenye uwanja nini. Mheshimiwa Spika, vitendo kama vile vya Senator Mudigi haviongezi sifa katika bunge hili, kwa sababu inaonekana kama ambaye anapigana katika bunge. Watu wanazungumza kistaarabu hapo, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kwa hivyo ndugu Mudigi, siku nyingine usijaribu kuonyesha vidole na nini. Asante.
Senator Mundingi, ningekupatia nafasi lakini ushaongea, so siwezi kupatia na sawa. Wewe jibu kwa ajili ulitajwa, jina yako ilitajwa, jibu.
Yangu Bwana Speaker, sina shinda yote ya kuwa hii nyumba ni nyumba ya wazee, na ni nyumba ambaye Senate ni hapa house. Atukwangi mimi sikwangi na shinda, ni vile nimekasirika wakati nimesikia Senator Chute akiongea kuhusu Marsabit County, na vile najua tukiwa hapa county 47 sisi wote tukiwa Senator 67 sisi tu tunaleta amani katika Kenya, na wakati tunajua Chute ndio chairman wa mambo ya devolution na mambo zile zingine, akiongea hapo nikawa nimekuwa na roho yangu ikawa haikunifurahisha. Kwa hivyo Senator Mombasa, wewe ni rafiki wangu, mimi sina maneno, ningekuomba tu vile nimeongea, sikuwa na maneno, sikuwa na kitu yote lakini kwa moyo wangu ndio imefanya roho yangu iende juu. Kwa hivyo mimi ni rafiki wa kila county na rafiki wa kila mtu. Kwa hivyo sikuwa na maneno yote. Kwa hivyo rafiki wako amekosea, ndio imefanya nijibu na moyo. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Asante Senator Mohamed Chute, I will allow you to continue with your contribution, but I would urge you to refrain. What is your point of procedure?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for granting me this. I just wanted to clarify as a member of the committee that the points of argument by the Senator of Marsabit are permissible in this House. That's the meaning of debate. However, before the committee, Mr. Speaker, the issues he's canvassing never came before us. Mr. Speaker, what came before us were two issues that were raised by the youth of the Republic of Kenya through their leadership and EACC. The youth raised the issue of age. We considered, and EACC brought in the issue of when Mr. Kibet was serving at the Kenya Medical, which school is that? Kenya Medical Training College, Mr. Speaker. And EACC, in writing, it excused him. And when we pursued the issue of age, Mr. Speaker, indeed, Mr. Kibet is 59 plus a few months this year. We were almost tempted on refusing him because he's approaching 60 this year. But on further scrutiny, Mr. Speaker, we found that the advert did not use age as a reason to disallow the candidate. So let it be understood that we are alive to this matter. This man, the only thing that the nomination required of us was to establish his suitability based on competence. And the bloc is very competent, and for God's sake, if we go the route of how many Muslims, how many Kalenjins will blow our country, let us just agree that mistakes have been made. We keep on making correction. Mr. Judah, there are many Muslims in senior positions than other people. And the fact that William Ruto is a Kalenjin does not mean that other Kalenjin professionals should not be given jobs. We can only ask the President and the Public Service Commission that where they want to give jobs based on communities, let them always remember that the President, being a Kalenjin, he collectively also holds a very big position in trust of other people. So they should also remember Kalenjins at the same time with the other communities. We have a country to build, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, senators.
Thank you, Senator Boni Kalwale. And Chute, just know that Senator Boni Kalwale took some of my words in his submission. And I think if you have listened to him keenly, you should be guided in how you should continue with your contribution. So please just refrain from mentioning any tribes, regions. I think most of the senators have actually guided you. And as the chair of cohesion also, there are some things which are not expected to be coming out from you. So please be guided and make your contribution, considering that you should not agitate any more of this debate.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me refer to what Senator Mandagor said. He told me you should resign. And I will ask Senator Mandagor, because he has a court case, is he going also to resign? That is what I should ask him. Number two, if I continue, Honorable Speaker, what I am saying today, please protect me against this guy.
Continue, Senator Chute.
Honorable Speaker, I want to make something very clear here. What I was saying, sir, how can I even speak? This guy is making a lot of noise in this house.
Senator Chute.
Honorable Senator Cherargei is making a lot of noise.
Senator Chute.
Yes, sir.
Address the chair.
So, thank you, Chair. Chair.
Senator Fatuma Dulo, what is your point of order?
Chair, is it in order for Senator Chute to insinuate that Senator Cherargei is making noise? Because that language is unparliamentary. Can he withdraw and apologize?
Senator Chute, since it's been brought, please withdraw and apologize.
Peacemaker, but let me withdraw it. I have withdrawn that statement. I have withdrawn. And apologize.
Yes,
because he is my friend. Honorable Speaker, I was elected by the people of Marsabit. It was called the Eastern Province before. And I'm here to represent the people of Marsabit. If I have any grievance, I have to speak it out. And Honorable Speaker, everybody in this house and this country knows what is happening in this country. And we needed to have equitable distribution of resources and even jobs, Honorable Speaker. What I have noticed and realized is that when this particular tender, what do you call, advert was floated, there were some conditions which were there. Later on, and I've said it before, in order to help somebody who was not earlier there, they changed that particular conditions, some conditions. So what I'm going to say, Honorable Speaker, I'm going to bring a statement to this House for the matter how this man, how the tender, the advert was advertised from day one to the end needs to be investigated. And Honorable Speaker, there are people making noise here, this House. Let me withdraw that statement. Let me withdraw. They have withdrawn. So, Honorable Speaker, let me conclude now. I want to conclude. Honorable Speaker, in conclusion, everybody in this country knows what is happening in this country. Even our parliamentarians who are here today know what is happening. And it is not news to us. I think what we need to do moving forward, we need to look at all regions equitably. And as I said earlier, in conclusion, Honorable Speaker, what has happened on that particular advert from day one up to the conclusion was done in a biased manner, in a way that a particular person wanted a particular person, somebody, it is tailor-made for someone. When that man didn't appear in the first advert, they decided to change the goalposts to suit him. On the issue of age, you've seen, Honorable Speaker, Gen Zs were complaining. June 25th, we were almost killed because of the issue of Gen Zs. Why are they complaining? It is because if you look at what is happening today, before my committee, governors who came there, they have got even some employed somebody who is 76 years old, Honorable Speaker, even 86. Okay? As an advisor of what? What is he advising on? How can you, Honorable Speaker, if you have a boarded vehicle, government boarded vehicle, what do you normally do? You sell it off, you scrap it. And these people at 78, at 80, who are you advising? You are advising who? So, let me conclude. So, I want to say on behalf of the people of Marsabit, we are not happy the way that...
Senator Cherargei, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, the chairman of National Cohesion today is not cohesive at all. Mr. Speaker, because under Article 57 of the Constitution of Kenya, it talks about older members of society, that the state shall take measures to ensure the rights of older persons to fully participate in affairs, pursue their personal development, to live in dignity and respect, to be free from abuse, and to receive reasonable and from... Mr. Speaker, the reasonable support. Mr. Speaker, is it in order, support and guidance, Mr. Speaker, is it in order in the submission of Senator Chute, who is the chairperson of Cohesion and Equal Opportunities, to talk in a discriminative language, undermining Article 27 and 28 of the Constitution, to show that the older people of the society do not matter, Mr. Speaker? Can he withdraw and apologize? In fact, the older people are very critical in our society. Some governors hire them as advisors on marital affairs, Mr. Speaker. They have repository of wisdom, Mr. Speaker.
Their place is not advising. Their place is going to aged home to stay there, relax, and enjoy themselves. So, Honorable Speaker, this motion has brought a heated debate. Let me say in conclusion, the people of Marsabit are not happy. They must know that somebody who has been there acting for many years, has been denied an opportunity. Somebody from somewhere was brought there, and under circumstances which needs investigation. In conclusion, I want to say, I oppose this motion. Thank you very much, Honorable Chair.
Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me begin by saying that I empathize with my brother, Senator Chute. And I do so because when he's here, he's wearing two hats. He's the chair of national cohesion, which is supposed to ensure that there is equity, even if there's no equality in this country, and fair representation. But he's also a member of the Senate, which represent all the 47 counties. Mr. Speaker, we are being invited to debate a matter that this Honorable House and the National Assembly Joint Committee were given facts, and they were provided with one name to be able to debate, to interrogate, and to be able to establish the suitability of that candidate to serve or to be appointed. And Mr. Speaker, if I read from the report, the recommendation given by the Joint Committee of the National Assembly and the Senate, it states as follows: the committee, having held and approved the nominee regarding his suitability, and I want to underline the term, the word suitability, observe the due process. I want to underline the due process that was followed in the nomination of the nominee in accordance with Section 12 of the Competition Act, Cap 504, as read together with Section 3 and 5 of the Public Appointment Parliamentary Approval Act. Committee therefore recommends that the National Assembly and the Senate approve, and in bold, the nomination of Mr. David Kibet Kimei for the appointment as Director General Competition Authority of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, these are the only facts which have been tabled in this House. And I want to encourage that we, in fact, our standing orders are very clear. Under statement of facts, we can only argue on matters that have been brought here. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, it is imperative that we become cognizant of other issues that my brother is raising. My brother has attempted to demonstrate how the process was flawed. I wish we had more information to that effect so that we can be able to interrogate them. This should be taken as a learning example. I don't believe that we should punish one individual, yet we have not been given information on how the process was carried out. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to be very brief and request that this House, in the respect of our distinguished senators who represented this House in the joint committee with the National Assembly, approve the appointment of this gentleman to serve. Give him an opportunity to be able to prove himself. His CV is remarkable on what he has been able to do. Indeed, the board had given this task to an independent institution to be able to carry out the recruitment, but were not satisfied. And then the board came back again and decided to carry out a second process, and saw that this gentleman was the one who was suitable and presented that name. I want to beseech colleagues that we look at what has been presented to us. In future, there are so many other avenues. If any other Kenyan feel that there was discrimination, they can be able to pursue another avenue and seek justice. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, I would like to beseech every appointing authority, any board out there, any institution which is given out there the mandate to be able to recruit Kenyans to serve this. Let us limit ourselves to speaking about Kenya. This issue of speaking about tribal affiliation, it's painful. You know, some of us, when we start talking about that, the tears that will ooze from my eyes will be able to fill a cup. Because for years, for decades. You know, our communities have been discriminated, but really to be able to punish an individual because his name has been forwarded, I think we'll be going overboard. So, Mr. Speaker, I support the nomination of this candidate. I hope we give him an opportunity to serve. And I hope that when he serves, there are very serious issues on competition. There are issues on businesses. In fact, grappling with right now is the one of Safaricom wanting to compete with a company that the value of Safaricom is only 0.03% of that company. So we need to be able to determine whether Safaricom, which is our baby, can be able to be given some preferential treatment and told, this area, let's protect it. There are various ways that we can protect our institutions. So I hope that when this gentleman takes over as the new Director General, he can look at areas that businesses can be promoted. You know, we've had these issues of milk. And I speak because I'm a milk farmer as well. I wear another hat. Of course, my dear brother here is my customer. But we have farmers. And when we have competition from neighboring countries, we have to balance. We have to look at it and say, if we bring in a lot of milk into this country, what are the unintended consequences when it comes to the issue of the farmers? So, Mr. Speaker, the task ahead is humongous, and I want to recommend that this gentleman, when he sits and he takes over his position, not to sit in the boardroom, to traverse this country called Kenya. In fact, the first stop should be Marsabit County. To be able to go and speak to our brothers in Marsabit and say, I am now the Director General of the Competition Authority. I want to know what I can be able to help. The next stop, come to Narok. You know, tell us what it is that you're going to be able to do for us.